If you're looking for some waivers heading into week 13, I've got 5 here for you that you may want to consider adding to your lineup. That way we can head into the fantasy football playoffs and be best prepared. The first guy we're going to talk about here is Drake May. This is a quarterback that came in, taking over, almost midway through the season as the starting quarterback, and he started to win a lot of people some games. He's doing really, really well. He's going out there. He's not only running the football, he's passing the football too. Just look what he did last week against the Dolphins, 222 yards and a touchdown, 59% completion percentage, and he's helping fantasy owners get win at this point. I mean, he has such a high floor. I didn't think Drake May was going to be running the football this effectively, and the dude he's got some wheels on him, and he could throw the ball over 200 yards in almost every game except for I think one that he started in this season. I mean, he is doing phenomenal for you for fantasy football wise. So if you're looking for a quarterback and your guy maybe you drafted Anthony Richardson or one of these guys that maybe have gotten hurt or whatever the case is, and you need a quarterback, look no further than Drake May. He could probably get the job done for you and help you get some wins, maybe even lead you off to the playoffs. I think he's just good enough to where he's not losing you fantasy football games. He may not completely be winning you fantasy games, but he's not helping you lose it. So if you got yourself a nice squad, just need yourself a quarterback, Drake May could be the guy you go after. Next guy I'm going to talk about here is going to be Jameis Winston, another quarterback that's not afraid to throw an interception. We all know that. He's out there slinging the football. Now that they've taken over for Deshaun Watson, he's throwing the ball all over the field. He doesn't need Jerry Jeudy or Amari Cooper. He's out there with Cedric Tillman, David Njoku, Jerry Jeudy. Man, he's going crazy for these guys, man. He doesn't need all of these top-notch guys, right? He's got some guys that's kind of in the saddle right now he's able to throw the football to, and he's doing whatever he wants to do out there, throwing for over 300 yards in most of his games. He may be throwing some interceptions, but we don't really care because he's slinging the football all over the field. You love yourself some Jameis Winston. Look what he did last week against the Steelers, 219 yards, 0 touchdowns, 67% completion percentage. He loves chucking the football down the field. And like I was saying, I mean, it just doesn't matter. He may not have had the great game last week. Remember, it was in the snow. They ran the football most of the time. So it's kind of like an anomaly last week, right? Just because he threw right over 200 yards. He's normally either at 300 yards or surpassed 300 yards when it's not a blizzard outside. So if he's on your waiver wire, you might be able to get him a little cheaper because he had the lower stat line. But going throughout the rest of the season, he should be throwing up 300 yards like it's nothing at this point. So he's going to be doing a really good job. And again, if you need a quarterback going out there, rock and roll with Jameis Winston. He can throw up some fantasy points in a hurry. Now, the next 3 guys we got talking about right here is all about the Washington Commanders. They're doing some crazy things out there in fantasy football. They could have some stars out there. The first guy I'm talking about here is at the running back position, Jeremy McNichols. Now, we saw Austin Eckler go down, didn't look too good. He could be out for the remainder of the season. Well, now you got a running back that's going in there, had 3 carries last week for 22 yards, but he could be more involved. We saw how involved Austin Eckler was, but like I said, last week against the Cowboys, 3 carries, 22 yards. But without Austin Eckler, look for McNichols to get more involved into this game, whether it's in the passing game, running the football for a little bit. Brian Robinson Jr. is definitely the 1A running back. But if you're looking for a scat back, maybe somebody in your flex position, and you don't really have anybody on the bench, you can do a little bit worse, or you can't do much work, I guess, than Jeremy McNichols. He's pretty much free. A free square. Now go put some waiver wire cash on him. Throw a few bucks out there. If you get Jeremy McNichols on your roster, he could come in clutch for you down the stretch. Get the guy into your roster. I think he's worth a waiver claim. Next guy we're talking about here is wide receiver Noah Brown. We saw how good he was over there when he played for the Cowboys, when he played for the Texans. Now he's playing with the Commanders, and I'm telling you, he's doing a really good job as the number 2 wide receiver on this football team. Just look what he did last week against the Cowboys. He had 6 receptions for 71 yards. He's had as many targets as Terry McLaurin recently in this offense. So Noah Brown can get the job done. If you need another wide receiver, I mean, you got the number 2 for Jaden Daniels out there. I think it's a pretty good deal. Go put some cash on Noah Brown. Get him into your roster. I think he's a great flex play week in and week out. He can blow up at any given time. Love myself some Noah Brown. Get him on your line. The last guy I want to talk about again from the Commanders is Zach Ertz. I've been pumping Zach Ertz out there for you guys all season long. I've been telling you guys, he's been on my waiver show quite a few times. Go get the guy. He's still under, 40% owned in most leagues right now. Get the guy into your lineup. He is targeted a lot. Look what he did last week against the Cowboys. 6 receptions, 38 yards, and a touchdown. He's had at least 10 PPR points in 5 of the last 7 games. I mean, that's great for a fantasy football tight end. I had Zach Ertz early on, all right, in the offseason, before the season started. I say, look, go get Zach Ertz. right? Ben Sinnott wasn't going to be the guy. It's going to be Zach Ertz. Cliff Kingsbury loves this guy. He loved him over there with the Cardinals, coming over here with the Commanders. I knew Zach Ertz was going to be a part of this offense. I think he's the way to go. Get yourself some Zach Ertz. Put a lot of fab on him because he could be a top fantasy tight end going down the stretch. Guys, that is my 5 waiver wires going into week 13. Guys, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're pumping out so many videos, guys. Right, each and every week we're really trying to give you waivers. We're giving you starts and sits, and now we're starting to dive into college football as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Is there another waiver out there that you may want to think about? Hey, you might want to think about this guy and go pick him up. Let's help each other out in the comments section below. Love to go back and forth with you guys, but I can't wait to see you all on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.